My peers were going to Harvard, going to, all Columbia, all these huge schools. And I remember thinking, I just want to dance. I know.
You perform it here as well, right?
It's my favorite. I like it more than the theater. Oh, I know. It was hard to see all of my friends going on to Beyond. That was the next ship. And they were like, do you want to do it, Jenna? Be a dancer on Beyond. Doing what I had just done. And there's just this part of me that was like, I don't know why, but no.
Hi, welcome to a new episode of Pata de Perro. My name is Humberto, and today I'm here in Norway, surrounded by mountains, waterfalls, and one of the most beautiful places I have ever seen. But today's story doesn't really begin here, it begins on this ship. Today, I'm walking with Jenna Thompson. She's an install director from Celebrity Cruises Entertainment, someone whose life has grown alongside this ship. She was part of the original opening cast of the Celebrity Apex, later came back as a specialty aerialist artist, and today she is the person helping new cast bring these shows to life. She's also my boss, so hopefully I'm gonna make some good questions. But beyond the job, I want to get to know the woman behind it all, a woman whose career, family, and life have all been shaped by this place. Hey! Hi. Hi, Jenna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How's your morning?
So good. I mean, look at this. It's hard to have a bad morning.
I know.
I also was going to tell you, I have a cabin at the front of the ship, this cruise.
Oh.
It's this big old window at the front.
Penthouse.
I know. And can you imagine sailing through this
Wow.
with that big window?
That's
so
amazing.
It's a good morning.
I always wake up with this view. It's just incredible.
Yeah, and the fresh air.
I know.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, thank you for being here and for accepting this
course.
invitation. I'm going to explain you very easy. This show is about just to walk. I'm going to, of course, make you some questions, but everything is just to get inspired with your life. That's what I want. And well, thank you also for accept and sharing all of this with us.
Of course. Yeah, I'm more than happy.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. Vamos! Perfecto. So my first question is are you been here in Norway before?
Yes. Actually, my very first contract in 2016, 10 years ago, I was 18 years old. I had the most amazing first contract ever. Everyone was new hires, so you know that energy you have when it's your first contract. That was the whole cast. And we were like, everything was exciting. And we did Norway, so we did the fjords like this, and we did the Med and the Caribbean. So we got a little bit of each, and it was amazing. It's still one of my favorite places.
It's so
Since
nice.
then till now, yeah.
Like being here, it just feels like you're in a fairy tale story.
Yeah. Me and my partner always say because we love Viking mythology and stuff. We love the show Vikings on whatever HBO, whatever that's on. You can see why Vikings had all their gods, like the thunder, the water god, the mountain. I don't know. You just are here, and it's like you see God in everywhere around you.
Everywhere.
This
is amazing. I decided to make this interview with you, especially here, and it's my first interview on the ship because I know that you have a really good connection with this ship.
Yeah.
I want to ask you first, who was Jenna before become here Apex?
Before Apex.
Before Apex.
Wow. Before Apex. Oh my gosh. Well, that was before pandemic. Okay. That was before becoming an aerialist. That was before becoming a mom. There's so much, oh my gosh, of my life that just took off from Apex, and I somehow just keep being drawn back to this ship, and it feels like I'm caught in this upward spiral on Apex. I guess before all of that, I don't know, I was such a young dancer, very, I don't know, in a loving way, narrow-minded. When I look back, very focused on, the small picture. And after Apex, that just, I no longer
Change your life.
yeah, I don't think the same way. I have such more a broad perspective of things. And yeah, it's just been such a catalyst for growth.
So you feel this ship as a home?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Every time I come back, I have my friends here, you know, in other departments. I know where I like to get my breakfast. I know. Yeah, it feels like home for sure.
You started in gymnastics when you were very young.
Yeah.
How did that become dance?
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I did gymnastics when I was like 4 or 5 until maybe 15 years old. And it turned into dance because I would be dancing all around the gym. And my like strict Russian coaches did not like that. They were like, focus, stop dancing. And I would like get all the girls and choreograph in the like little mirrors that we could find. And yeah, then my parents were like, okay, your heart is somewhere else. We gotta put you into dance. And I was also just getting injured so much in gymnastics. Like it's very tough on your
really
body.
hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they don't really have longevity in mind in the gymnastics world. You know, you kind of peak at 18, maybe like into your 20s if you do college. But yeah, dance has more of a longevity thing in mind, you know, and like knees over toes. And the way you train is like take care of your body.
Yeah.
But in gymnastics, it's like just go, just grind, just go. Yes.
Split.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I was getting hurt all the time and I just fell out of love with it. And dance was like, I became obsessed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so of course. But also, for sure, gymnastics help you so much
Oh my
to
God,
be a
yeah.
dancer.
Yeah, for sure. The body awareness, the connection with your body, and yeah, things you just take, and just natural strength too. Took that for granted that not everybody has that. And for me, it was just second nature. I didn't even have to think about it because training from when you're 5 years old, you're just doing things for fun and you're so fearless too. That's what gymnastics teaches you. Strength, yes, body awareness, but also just fearlessness. Like just go for things, just try things, just go.
At what moment did performing stop being a hobby and become a dream?
Wow, probably in high school. I was, in all these, you know, really hard. I was very good at school. I didn't love school, but I was good at it. And I was surrounded by people that were so smart. My peers were going to Harvard, going to, you know, all at Columbia, all these huge schools. And I remember thinking, I just want to dance. I'm going to dance, you know? When you're at that age, 17, 18, and you have to decide, are you going to go to college? What are you going to study?
What I'm going to do?
What are you going to do? Everybody was, you know, college is the next natural step. And I just knew that didn't feel right for me. And I knew I had to perform. I would be so sad, you know, for the rest of my life if I didn't perform.
Yes. And when you were 18, what did success look like to you?
Honestly, I think it just looked like dancing and making a living dancing. Bare minimum. If I just got money for dancing, I would be happy. A little bit of money, you know? If I could afford groceries from dancing, that was a win, you know? Because so many people told me I couldn't do that. You can't be an artist and have wealth. You can't be an artist and
live good.
And be successful. There's such the starving artist, you know, archetype.
Yeah, and that's what like people always say about like if you want to become a dancer or an artist, they will like, but how are you gonna live?
It equals struggling.
But it's amazing when we say like, no, I will do it, and I'm gonna follow my dream, and nothing is gonna stop.
Yes, and you don't have to sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice. You don't have to give anything up. You can have it all. You can dance and have money. Dance and not be worried about, oh, how am I going to pay rent? Or, you know, I didn't think that was possible. So yeah, success to me just looked like any little bit of money that you give me, I'll take it as long as I can dance. Yes.
Oh my God. What made you audition for Celebrity?
So when I was 18, I moved to New York. I was doing ballroom at the time. It was a whole nother world. And I moved up to New York to train and to teach a little bit. Teaching's really big in the ballroom world. So I was training, I was teaching, and me and my partner broke up. And so I had this like existential crisis. What am I doing? I thought this was it. And there was a an audition for Celebrity. So I was like, why not? I grew up cruising as a kid also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm from Tampa, so there's a big port there.
Yes.
And my dad was a travel agent, so we'd get all these last minute deals on ships. And he'd be like, all right, this weekend we're going on a cruise. Yeah, because it would be like so cheap. So I grew up cruising, and of course, always loved going to the theater, you know, obsessed. We'd always watch the shows. And so, yeah, when I saw that audition, I just went and got it. And I was like, yep, didn't look back. And
for me.
Yeah.
Do you remember how you felt when you got the call?
Yeah. Yes. It was an email. An email. But yes.
Well, at the time, yes, emails. Yes.
Yeah, I got the email and I remember crying to my parents and being like, I did it. And we all just cried, and yeah, because it felt huge at the time.
Yes, of course.
Now, you know.
It was your big opportunity.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And even just the couple of like $1,000 I got a month felt huge.
Yes.
You know? I was like, money from dancing. That was impossible. Yeah, I'm rich. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was an amazing feeling.
If I had met that 18 years old Jenna, what would she have been like?
Oh my gosh, I feel so different than that girl. So it's hard to
That's why I
remember. It's hard. Yeah, oh my gosh, 18-year-old Jenna. That feels like a couple of lifetimes ago. But she was such a like yes person. I remember that fearlessness too. Like when I think back to being 18, just saying yes to this contract that was over in Europe, I didn't even think twice, you know, about like, well, how will I contact my family? Like all these like logical things. Yes. I wasn't very like logical. I'm still kind of not. I go more off intuition and feeling than logic. And definitely that 18-year-old girl had that. Really, yeah. That I'll figure it out whenever I get there. Like I'm just saying yes.
Yeah, like, let's go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know, you know, the logistics, but yes, let's go.
I know.
And yeah, I'm proud of that 18-year-old girl. I was just a yes girl. Like,
I'm sure she also was really nice. Like you are a really nice person.
Thank you.
But for sure, the energy, like when we are younger, it's different.
Yeah, jump first, think later.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And now that you are a mom, and so it's a whole perspective, different whole perspective.
Yeah.
And do you remember the first time you saw Apex?
Not really.
No?
No, actually. I remember the first time seeing Eclipse, like on my first contract ever. I remember being like, that is the biggest ship ever. I remember that feeling. But I think being on Apex, I've just been here so much. I don't remember that first time. Yeah, I really don't. I do have memories of, you know, in the opening cast, you get on board and like things aren't finished on the ship.
That's why.
They're still fixing things. There's no guests. So we would come in a guest area in our pajamas, do yoga wherever we wanted. You know, like it was your ship. I remember that feeling, you know, which maybe wasn't like the first time I got on the ship, but like that around that time of when I first got on. And yeah, that's a really magical time too. It's very strange to be on a ship that's empty.
I know.
This huge ship that's...
Well, I never did, but I imagine.
Yeah. You did like pandemic.
Yes, I did like a return to service, but it wasn't here with Celebrity.
Gotcha.
But yes, I know that feeling, like the ship just, it's empty.
Yeah.
And it feels like you are in a ghost ship.
Yes. And when you get more and more passages, you're like, what are you doing on my ship? Like, this is mine.
My palace.
How dare you walk here? Yeah, it's funny.
What did it mean to be part of the opening cast of this ship?
That was really special. It's such a cool process. It's unlike any other contracts that you'll do. It's very intense. It's very demanding. You have a lot of eyes on you, which is like good and bad. It brings out the best and worst of you because you see there's a lot of pressure, you know?
I know.
A lot of pressure. And you work really closely with these producers and directors from outside, you know, from people all over the dance industry, like people from LA, people from West End, you know, they come in and they are producing the shows. So it's, a lot of pressure, a lot of...
And also like you do something and then the next day they are like, we're going to change it.
Everything's changing. You have to be adaptable. You definitely have to. And that's not something I think I was good at. I think it taught me to be good at that.
Okay.
I was very like, this is my track, this is what I do, how dare you change it? And now being a director, I can see, oh, that's why they changed it, obviously.
Yeah.
But you don't have that perspective when you're on the other side.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but it's a very intense process, but it was so rewarding also because they build the shows around you and what you can give.
Of course.
However much the cast there can give is like what the shows are going to end up as. So it feels really personal. Every time I see these shows installing them, I'm like, we did that. Like me and those are some of my best friends at the time. Like we made that. And every time I watch a new cast, I can see my old friends. I can see Patrick doing that. I can see Elliot doing that, Alex that, and that.
All your friends.
Yeah, it's really special.
Did you ever imagine this ship will become such an important part of your life?
No, I never saw it coming. There's so many things I never saw coming. And then it just gets better and better.
This ship has seen many versions of you.
Yes.
Which one changed the most here?
Oh my gosh. Probably coming back after having a baby was the big one. They all were big.
Yes.
Going from dancer to director was huge. I grew so much. Going from director to aerialist was huge. That was such a hard thing that I thought I could never do. But coming back after giving birth was insane. It was insane. And I was breastfeeding while performing, while directing, it was unreal.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the biggest uphill climb. And then I stood on the top of the mountain, you know, my first performance on Apex after like training so hard after having a baby. I remember being on stage and having Carlos, my partner, behind me playing the music. I'm on stage performing, flying around, and in front of me is Noah, my baby, in the audience watching. I literally come out for Crystallize and I hear, "Mommy." And I was just like, I've peaked. I'm like, this is it. Like, it really felt like standing on top of this metaphorical mountain because after having a baby, you don't think that's possible. You can barely walk. So thinking about, I'm going to fly and dance around again is like, right, you know? So to be there, to perform again after having a baby was just so hard, but so rewarding. Yeah. And I was like, I can do anything. If I can do that, I can do anything, because that was so hard, you know?
I just imagine. So, even for me, I'm like dead now with these shows and I didn't get there. So I can imagine how it felt. So at what point did this stop feeling like work and start feeling like home?
I think when me and Carlos got really serious and our relationship kind of went to the next level was on Apex. And that's when it felt like, you know, like Apex isn't just another ship that you just do a contract and you leave. It's like we have so many memories here and our relationship like took its like roots here, you know? Yeah. That's probably when it started to feel like home. And then having my baby here was just like, it felt like home. We were just living like normal life.
Literally, you've been living here.
Yes. And he would walk the same track, learn, you know, took his first steps here. Yeah. Everything you do like on land together, going to get breakfast, going getting coffee, like walking with the stroller, like we were doing that, but here on Apex. And it just felt like this is home. You know? Yeah.
You also met your husband here.
Yes.
Did you ever imagine one contract could change your whole life?
No, I did not see that coming. But I will say, I knew like something was gonna happen.
Yes.
I always had that feeling.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him in rehearsals before we got to the ship, and you just that like tether between us. That invisible string was just like pulling. I was like, what is that? You know, I haven't felt it with anyone else. And I could just feel it towards him. We'd barely even spoken 2 words to each other, but I could just feel something like drawing me to him. And I was like, something's gonna happen. But I never thought
that
6 years later, we'd have a baby and a house. And never saw that coming. And in Mexico, never thought I'd be living.
That's so nice. Looking back, what's the greatest gift this ship gave you that was never part of the job?
I mean, I feel like it's cliche, but of course the people. The people are so beautiful here. Everyone asks about Noah. Everyone knows Noah. Even when I don't have him with me, like they're asking, how is the baby? How is he? How is he? And the people are just so beautiful. and the people in the cast that I get to meet and being like an observer to people's growth and being a part of like their growth, seeing who people are at the beginning of rehearsals to when I leave them before their contract starts. It's like, that's really special.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, a little part of the job, but something deeper than just...
It's more emotional, and like that's not something just like, okay, I'm gonna teach you the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna teach you and I'm gonna see you like doing it, like make it better, and to that point that you leave the ship and you're like, okay, it's done.
Yes, and watching dancers and singers and acrobats, but watching people that I direct, like push themselves and do things that they didn't think they could do.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought I'd be doing the aerial contract. I never thought I would get this solo. I never thought I would be able to do rockumentaries. It's so hard. You know, all these things, and just watching people now on the other side of that.
Yes.
And where that opens them up to in the other areas of their life. Like I'll see them a year later even, and it's just like, whoa. You know, you getting past that personal mountain of like, I didn't think I could do that. And then once you do, it's like, okay, now all these other opportunities are just like, come, let's go this way, let's go. You know, it's really fun to see.
Cool.
Yeah.
You went from performing on stage to leading the people on it. What was the hardest part about becoming a leader? Dun, dun, dun.
I know. My immediate feeling is it came pretty natural, actually. It wasn't ever something I really wanted to do or thought I was going to do. And so when the opportunity kind of fell in my lap, and I was like, oh, okay, let's go, ? And I took that leap and just did it. It kind of unfolded really naturally, and I found myself really enjoying it. Getting, you know, good feedback from the cast. And then as you do it more and more, I think naturally the maybe second guessing of yourself. Am I good at this? Because you always get new casts, right? You get new group of people which bring new energy and bring, you can't direct the same because it's different every time.
Yes, and different people.
Yeah, different energies, different styles of learning. That's proven to be, the more you do it, that's the biggest challenge is how do I bring the best out of like what is in the room right now in front of me instead of this is how I direct, this is who I am. So you
deal with that.
bend to my will. You really can't be like that and get a successful product. Well, maybe you can, but it's gonna be a painful process for everybody, you know? So that's been probably the biggest challenge is how do I adapt? How do I be flexible? How do I, you know, see the vision of what I want and what I need to get? And how do I get there with this particular group of people that I have? And that's a challenge.
It's a really good, really challenge, like manage different personalities, especially when they are from different countries. They have different perspective about culture. So I imagine how it is. But you do it amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love working with you. I feel like I can see that you being a dancer and that you being in our shoes, you know? Like it's never felt like that you are like, oh my God, I'm the director. So bow to me.
Could you imagine?
No, it is so nice. How did you earn the trust of a brand new cast?
That's a good question.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think one of the things that helps me earn the trust of a new cast is them feeling confident on stage. I can tell if they don't trust me when I ask them to do something and they're like, ugh, that makes me feel weird. That makes me feel, really? That's what you want? I feel the shrink of them, you know? But I think earning their trust is making them confident and making them like expand and shine outward. When they feel like they're shining and they feel confident, then they trust me to tell them, hey, change this. Hey, this will look better. Hey, can you try this thing? They'll trust me more if they're like, okay, I felt really good when after you gave me that other note. So now I trust you that your eye is good or your ear. I trust that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Amazing. Well, I think we're gonna cut now here. We're going to one very special place. So let's go. Perfect. Now, yeah, we are here a little bit more relaxed, chilling with this amazing view.
Yeah.
I love this place.
I know.
You perform it here as well, right? Would you
In
be
Eden.
in Eden?
Yeah.
You've been
It's my favorite. I like it more than the theater. Oh, I know. There's something about performing when you can actually see the people right in front of you. It feels small. It feels intimate. I really like that.
Yes. The shows are also really great here.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, I love performing in Eden, and it's just so pretty.
But you just like did it like performing with the Eden cast or like the theater and doing the shows with Eden?
Yeah,
Okay.
that one. And also when I was a dancer trying to make my transition into aerialist, I like fought my way. I was just a dancer in the cast.
Yeah.
And I was like, Stephanie, which is, wait, did you work with Stephanie?
Yes, in that moment.
Yes, she's like the boss, the big boss. I was like, Stephanie, I've got an act, I promise. I won't let you down. And she's like, so one night she arranges for me to like show her my act in Eden. And like the aerial director was like my cheerleader. She's like, you can do this. You know, she helped me put my act together. She like gave me her costume. She's like, throw this on, slick back my hair. And she's like, go. And just Stephanie sat right there. And it was like really late at night. And I just show her my act in Eden. And she's like, okay, we can put it in. And so I was dancing, but I like every captain's club, any opportunity I got, I was like, do you need an act in Eden? I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I would perform back here.
I think that's something that I always also try to do, like just be present, no? And not just like, maybe just not like be present, like they see you that you love this, no? And that you want to give a little bit more of what your contract sometimes say.
Definitely, definitely. Because I think when you have that energy of being a yes person,
Yes.
being like, I'm ready, being ready, being ready for your dream. I'm ready on my end. So when you're ready on your end for whatever it is that you want, that solo, that promotion, that whatever, I'm ready. The universe meets you.
Yes.
You know, if you just wait for like, oh, but outside of me isn't aligned, you know, oh, I don't see the opportunity, so I'll just wait to train, or I'll wait to, I don't know, do a ballet bar. I'll wait. I'll wait. Then it never happens. So you got to be like, I'm ready. So when the opportunity comes, it's like, put me in coach and you go in, you know?
I know. So I know that during the pandemic, you take that moment as an opportunity to try new things. And you did start with aerial. Why aerial?
I mean, aerial's magical for one.
I mean, yeah.
You know, anytime you see it, to see somebody just defying like what a human should be able to do. You see a human flying. That's just like, blows your mind. That's one. And I think just with my background of gymnastics, dancing, that just merged the two. It's a lot more, maybe athletic isn't the right word, but more sport than dancing. Dancing's very artistic for me, very, very artistic, and, you know, nourishes me on like a soul level. Like dancing feels so good to my soul, you know? But aerial feels like that physical challenge of like, I have to be my strongest to be able to do this. And there's a part of me that like loves that too. You know, there's a part of me that I think just from my gymnastics training, I want to do hard things. I want to do things that seem impossible. That's exciting to me. And yeah, I think aerial just merges like the dance, the artistic side of dancing, but also the just physical, like you got to be peak of your athletic form to be able to do it. And that's why I was so drawn to it.
This is to me. This is for me. Was it difficult to leave behind being a dancer?
It was hard, I know. It's hard. It was at the time because all of my friends, it was another thing that I knew I wanted to do it, but the opportunity wasn't there yet. So it's like, it was hard to see all of my friends going on to Beyond. That was the next ship. And they were like, do you want to do it, Jenna? Be a dancer on Beyond, you know, doing what I had just done. And there's this part of me that was like, I don't know why, but no, I want to do aerial. And just having to say no to something when you know it's like consistent money, it's all your friends are going to be there. It's like the safe option. So it was a very easy yes, but I said no to it because I wanted to do aerial, even though there were no opportunities for me to do aerial. But it was something just pulling me towards that. And I'm so like, yes, it was hard at the time to say goodbye to my friends, to say goodbye to like the easy, you know, next contract, you have money for 8 months, you know, it's hard in that sense. But that was only on like an ego level, you know, for my ego to be okay. On the soul level, it was very easy. It was like, I know I need to do that. I don't know why, but I know I need to do aerials. You know, I need to just
And
go
also
this
that
way.
just make you be better, no? Like you develop a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
Also, like when we sacrifice things in our life, I feel like that's the best way to become a better version of you.
Yeah, I agree. I think you have to make room for that new version of you. So that's what the sacrifice means to me. Exactly what you're saying. Like if you can, sense this other version of you is like waiting for you to meet it. It's like you gotta let go of something to just make room for you to have the space to just step into that new version of you. And yeah, I definitely felt that stepping into Ariel. It was like I just gotta,
Just do something new. But then life surprised you again, and you became a mom. Who changed it the most? The artist, the director, or the woman?
Everything. What changed the most becoming a mom? Everything. It is so hard. It's so hard to articulate how carrying life, delivering life, raising life changes you on just a cellular level. Like it's so hard to explain unless you felt it and experienced it. Like you just think differently. You just move through the world differently. Like just everything changes. Everything changed.
I just imagine.
That's why when you asked me, what was the 18-year-old girl like? I was like, whoa, like, I don't know. I don't remember her.
At this point, I just deleted that information.
It genuinely feels like there's your life before you have a baby, and then there's a different life that you have after a baby. Like, you're just different.
Well, today you are raising your son in Mexico.
Yes.
What has Mexico taught you that you never expect to learn?
I love Mexico. I love Mexico. It's taught me, coming from America, the US.
The US.
We have such a individual culture. When you turn 18, it's like expected and I guess praise for you to leave the house, go start your own life. There's such a shame around like you need help or you need your parents' help or you still live with your parents. It's like shame. It's like get out of here, kick you out of the house at 18, figure it out. It's very like an individual culture. And how can I myself be successful? And raising a baby in Mexico is like the opposite. Like my mother-in-law, I have the most amazing mother-in-law. Carlos's mom is so beautiful. She's such a good abuelita. She's so good. And she always tells me like, we're a team. We're doing this together. You're not raising Noah alone. And she always tells me, yes, it's your baby, but it's our baby. Like it is Noah belongs to this family and we are all raising him together. Like you are not alone. And that's been the biggest, like lesson, I guess. Mexican culture is so beautiful around children, around.
I think like we are, and not because in another cultures they don't, but we are very like love and we like express love about like taking care of you and like cuddle, like hugging.
Very affectionate.
Yes. Like, hi, ¿cómo estás, mi amor? No?
Even down to like very little things. Like when you walk into a space, like a restaurant, a store, people just immediately, buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. Hello, they acknowledge you. Like you're here, you've arrived in this space, like we're here together. And that's such a little microcosm of the Mexican culture. Like we are here together, we're doing this together. And American culture is just not exactly like that.
And even, for example, I remember when I ended my last contract, I came back to Mexico and I got to the restaurant and just people say like, buen provecho. Like they are leaving and they're like, buen provecho. Or they are sitting by your side, buen provecho. And you don't know them. And I felt so weird in the beginning. I was like, oh yes. Like
we acknowledge each other.
Yes. So that's amazing. What would you love for your son to learn from Mexican culture?
From Mexican culture. I think that's a beautiful thing that I want him to always have is not only feeling like he's never alone in life, feeling like he has a family that is doing life with him, alongside him, but also for him to give that to the world as well. Like, I see you. I see you. We're here together. Yeah, you're not alone. I don't feel alone. I don't want him to ever feel alone or to make somebody feel alone. And that's yeah, I think something that he is going to learn from Mexican culture. And if you know what Noah looks like, you've seen Noah, you've met Noah.
He's so cute.
He's a little gringo. He's a little,
With
what do
his
they call
hair.
him? What's the word for a little like blondie boy? They always call him güero.
Güerito.
They always call him güerito. He just,
Güero.
and in Oaxaca, he really stands out.
Yeah,
He's a little white boy,
yes.
blonde hair, like light eyes. Yes, he
Yes.
stands out. And I think that's also something I want him to maybe not even learn. I want him to like not learn it. You know, that I'm different, that I look different, or that other people look different and you have to treat them differently. Like I know he's gonna kind of grow up also that I hopefully like not sensing
Not
that
in
he's
the
different.
bad way.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel
Yeah.
like that's also good for him, like being raised between two cultures.
Yeah.
I had an episode with Priscilla, and her parents are from Cuba, and then she grew in US, no? And she say like, that's just such a gift because you also have a little bit of both of them and you get the best from them.
Definitely.
So I feel like that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
When you were 18, your dreams probably look completely different, as you say.
Yeah.
So what's your dreams today?
My dreams today are to keep the intention to always follow my dreams,
Okay.
to always make that a priority in my life. That feels like a gift. And so far, I've been successful at that.
Yeah.
Whatever is lighting me up in life, and I always feel this sense of like being pulled towards something that doesn't really make sense,
Yeah.
you know, logically. I hope that I keep my life down that path of like, this doesn't exactly make sense, but I gotta follow it.
Yeah.
And then every time I do, I'm rewarded for that. So I hope that my life keeps unfolding like that. And my family has that sense that in this family, we follow our dreams.
Yes.
No matter how crazy they sound, no matter how
big
we
they
have,
are.
yeah, how big they are, how much we have no idea how they're gonna happen. Like, I hope Carlos always feels that he can do that in our family
Yes.
and with me and with Noah. And of course, I hope Noah always has that feeling of, I want to do this. Let's
Yes.
go. And he does. I was, thinking about Noah and kind of what he's like brought into the world with him. And I've kind of narrowed down Noah's essence so far. He's almost 3, but his essence so far is very like, vamos. One of the first things he would always say is like, as a like 1.5-year-old, you know, very kind of first words,
Yes.
first phrases. He was like, vamos, vamos,
Vamos.
and ben, 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 like, let's go. And he has that energy. He's a like, let's go. You know, come on, come, let's go. He has that energy, and I hope he always keeps that. And that I never do anything to fuck it up.
Oh, that's so sweet. And I think just, of course, dreams can be changed with time, no?
Of course.
And now, of course, as I said, when you were 18, you have dreams and you say like, I just want to do this. And now you've been as a mother, you have another goals, dreams. And then Noah will grow and you'll see him and you will like, okay, and now I need to have, and that's what life is about, to always try to go for something, then when you get it, go for something bigger.
Definitely. I have this motto of, I always kind of ground myself in no forcing and no holding back. If I ever find myself forcing my way into something, that's like a red flag to catch myself. And if I ever find myself holding back from something I know I want, another red flag.
Yes.
So I try to live by that. No forcing, no holding back. Vamos.
Vamos.
Ben, ben, ben. Vamos.
Talking about vamos, I think it's time to go to our last place to end this interview. But before, I would like to make a little video here with this amazing view in Eden place. So let's go. Vamos.
Go, vamos.
Yay! Well, we are in our last part of this interview, and we are, of course, ending in the
Naturally.
best place.
The best place ever.
Of this ship, of course, the theater. It's my office. Welcome to my office.
Step into my office.
I know, sorry, she's the boss. Okay, Jenna. So just First of all, I'm gonna ask you one favor. I want you, we walk in to the theater and you just like look around, like just watch. Remember all the emotions that you've been living through here, and then I'm gonna make you the last questions, okay?
Okay.
Jenny, let's go. How does it feel to be here?
Amazing. Always amazing. So many memories. Yeah. Grew up on this stage, it feels like, you know?
Yes. And now you are like almost leaving because, well, you don't know this, but we are doing our install time with her. It's been really hard, but always install time, it is like that. No, like request so much, you need so much energy. Even when you are tired, you need to be here.
Focused, yeah.
And how it was this process. After so many casts doing it, I feel like every time it's different, of course.
Definitely.
Which thing do you think it was different this time?
This one was relatively smooth. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Circumstances always change. There's injuries, there's sickness, there's, you know, handovers of the tech team, there's new SPMs, there's new this, new that. Like, you never know what circumstances you're gonna be handed. And considering all of our circumstances, we had like a changeover in TD in the middle of it. We've had the sickness going around the cast. We had an injury with a dancer who didn't come. Somebody had to fill in for her. Like, considering all of that, it was so smooth.
Yeah.
I think it's one of like my smoothest.
Actually. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like we have like a first long cruise, which also helped.
Also helped. It's a good one.
So, for my last question, when you think about all the people you have worked with here, what makes you feel most proud?
What makes me really proud is when dancers come up to me and say they really want to do crystalline.
Oh.
They see that I'm like made it possible to jump from dance to aerial, and that always makes me super proud to get like a female dancer who's never thought that was possible, and then after working with me comes to me and they're like, how do I do that? That's happened a couple of times where people are like, can I just sit down and talk to you? How do I do it? What would you recommend? And that makes me really, really proud. That's like a specific thing, I guess, but in general, just seeing like growth from people, like we talked about, like just seeing people like step into this bigger version of themselves after working with them makes me so proud.
Amazing. Well, I always do with my guests. Last one question, but this one it's a little bit different. So Jenna, please look at the camera.
Yes.
Think that the camera is someone who is in home.
Oh gosh.
Watching you. What would you say to someone who's afraid that choosing family might mean giving up their dreams?
Oh man, that's a hard one.
Yeah, like imagine that little Jenna who was maybe afraid to get pregnant because that will mean that
To give up.
yeah, like I need to sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But now as you as a mom and everything that you have now, what you will say? Or maybe it's not even to become a mom. It's like maybe I got a contract in another country and that means like I need to leave my family. But I'm afraid, like I don't want to leave my family, but at the same time I want to, you know?
Well, I think I would say you can have it all. You can have it all. And just because it maybe has never been shown to you before how to do it or what it looks like doesn't mean it's not possible. Sometimes that's the best experience that you're going to ever have is on the other side of that, other side of you questioning, well, what does it look like? Nobody around me has done it. You know, when all these things are going through your head, the best experience is on the other side of that, taking the leap and creating your own version of what it looks like. That's possible and so unbelievably rewarding to just take that leap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a good answer?
Yes, that's the best answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have fun?
Yes, that was so nice.
Yes. Thank
I
you
love
for accepting, for being with us. Before you leave, I just want to say like you being really good with us. I
Thank
feel
you.
like sometimes we don't need people tell us how good we are, but sometimes also it is necessary. And I just want to say like it was so smooth and I love your energy. Thank you so much. That's why also I decided to invite you because I knew that you will have something very special to share.
Thank you.
And well, that's it. Thank you so much. And come muchos tacos en México,
Claro
por
que
favor,
sí.
por mí, porque yo me quedo aquí
Claro que
8 meses.
Ay.
But yes, that's it. Thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe, leave your like there, and some comments, questions, anything. Thank you so much, and
you.
see you next time.
Nos vemos.
Adiós. Vamos.
Ven, ven, ven.
Gracias por caminar con nosotros. Si te gusta caminar así, suscríbete y nos vemos en la próxima historia.